Kim is working on her appointment. Let's discuss your agency options while we have a minute or two.
Well, we just sold our home in Texas, and we learned all about fiduciary duties. Isn't this really just the same thing?
No, you come from a state requiring a common law fiduciary agency. Our laws are similar, but slightly different. Right now, you're a customer, and I'm what's called a non-agent. In Idaho, you are always a customer unless you sign a representation agreement for agency-level services. As my customer, I still owe you certain duties. I have to help you with your purchase. I have to act honestly, with good faith, and reasonable skill and care. I have to account for any monies you place with this brokerage. Regardless of agency status, I also have to tell you if I know something about the property that might influence your decision to buy or offer some lower amount. Idaho calls these adverse material facts.
That sounds important. So what would these adverse facts be?
Adverse facts are important. One example might be if the property sits in a 50-year floodplain. I would have to tell you that before you buy the property, but I'm not required to know everything possible about the property. Let's face it, I don't live there. If I do know something or learn something, I have to pass it along.
That makes sense.
Let's talk about what you get if you hire me as your agent. To do this, you would need to sign a buyer representation agreement. Then you become my client. As your agent, this brokerage is obligated to promote your best interests. In addition to the duties we've already discussed, we also have to perform any obligations in our written agreement. I have to help you with the negotiations. You don't have to follow my recommendations, but I have to give you the best suggestions I have. Remember, I said this is all about choices. As a part of helping you, I have to recommend consulting with experts if you have questions outside my field.
What kind of experts?
All kinds of experts exist out there. I've recommended pest control people, surveyors, even mold inspectors. People might ask questions that require an attorney or an accountant.
It's nice to know that someone's looking out for us.
Only if you hire an agent. Remember, it's all up to you. As your agent, I also have to look for other properties that might work for you. An agent also has to maintain your confidences.
What sort of confidences?
The information the seller might like to know during negotiations. You don't have to share any of this with me. But if you do, an agent has to keep it secret. Let's say you find a house you really like, but you want to try buying it below the asking price. As your agent, I can't tell the seller you're willing to pay full price. I have to do my best to get it at your offer price.
Wow. And you wouldn't owe these duties to a customer?
No. In fact, non-agents can pass along that kind of information to a seller because we aren't obligated to maintain your confidences.